Wir begrüßen hier am Institutional Money Kongress Professor Thomas Sargent von der University of New York. Er hat zusammen mit Christopher Sims im vergangenen Jahr den Nobelpreis für Wirtschaftswissenschaften erhalten. Professor Sargent, you received the Nobel Prize together with Christopher Sims for your work on cause and effects in macroeconomics. A very complex field, I know, but can you try to explain what are the most important aspects behind it?
So my work was and is about how people's understandings and expectations about government policies affect their own strategies for investing, saving, and consuming. I guess one of the studies that I did that I like a lot, and I think the Nobel Committee cited, was a study of the stabilization of the German hyperinflation in 1923. And what I did was to compare how people, citizens in Germany and elsewhere, seem to be forming expectations about inflation during the hyperinflation and then after the hyperinflation ended, and what changes in German monetary and fiscal policy led to those changes in the way people behave. So,
in your presentation here at the Institutional Money Kongress, you raised the question if the government of the community of states should bail out one of its members which is too heavily indebted. Is there a simple solution to that question?
There's definitely not a simple solution or a simple answer or a simple should. And the reason is any bailout will involve winners and losers within the country that's being bailed out and within the countries that are doing the bailing out. And there's definite conflicts of interests involved. So a bailout is a decision about allocating losses and gains among winners and losers, and that's always politically difficult.
What can economics in general teach us about how crises occur, how to deal with them when they happened, and especially how they can be avoided?
Well, economists have assembled a great deal of historical, empirical evidence that it tells us some warning signs about situations that lead to crises. One is countries and institutions within countries getting excessive leverage that expose those institutions and countries to risks. So we have lots of evidence about regulations or deregulations that have exposed countries to those situations, and successful regulations. Examples would be Chile, that imposed regulations that allowed it largely to avoid the consequences of the latest financial crisis. So we actually know a lot.
There is more and more critics who deplore that economics rely far too much on far too complex mathematic models to explain and analyze relationships in the economy. What would you answer?
I think the fact is that the economy is a complicated place. It consists of millions of people making decisions about their investments, their savings, how much they're going to work, and to try to figure that out, how all that fits together. The only tool we have is mathematics. And if you actually look at what the young people who are actually doing economics, they're rolling up their sleeves and learning and using some mathematics. They're using developments that are created with computers, and lots of those developments are coming from the private sector, analyzing big data sets. And I think we're just going to be using more and more mathematics, and I actually wish I knew more and was younger and could learn some more.
Thank you very much for being with us here at the Congress. Thanks, Professor Sargent.